All right, it is time to find out what's in this box. Harmon, open that thing up, man. Oh snap, we got airbags, more horsepower. We got more boxes. That means multiple parts. More horsepower. What is this for? Well, you'll find out soon. Joel, I'm showing these people that we're sponsored by Monster. No, I'm just kidding. We've got the dyno sheets to prove it, but we're gonna do some real world testing, see how awesome this kit is. But we've got 12 more horsepower to the wheels, and on your 800, that's gonna be awesome. Let's open up these other little boxes and see what's up. Like, we got some intake stuff. Clutch kit stuff. New weights. Is that to apply the new power a little more efficiently? I believe so. Hood scoops for the new intakes. What's this?
The other side of the intake.
Other side of the intake. Okay. Now, I think I know what's in this box. Oh boy. Oh boy. A new ECU. Hot dog. Guys, this kit exclusively for all of you in the United States. It's going to be available at Main Street Cycle. We're just in the testing phase right now. If you want to pre-order this kit, go ahead and let me know if you're interested. Like I said, we're looking to get 12 more horsepower, and that is a lot out of the CFORCE 800 to add that much more horsepower to be able to apply it to the ground with the clutch kit. I can't wait to get this installed. We plan to have this ready for people to check out at the CFMOTO takeover event right here at Main Street Cycle this weekend. So if you need to make some last minute plans, come on out to Main Street Cycle. We're gonna have a good time together. We're gonna go install this thing and go have some fun. So we have covered a lot of ground that I haven't got on camera, but I will catch you up real quick. All we've done, remove your side panel, remove your air box cover that sits up here, this guy right there. All right, and then I removed the gauge cluster. That's relatively easy. You just got a 10mm bolt on each side. Then you have some rubber grommets here, and then some plastic, two plastic slotted hooks that are located here on each side. And you're gonna push back or towards the handlebars and pop up at the same time, and it comes right up out of the way. So we're gonna have to cut some holes out here for our new intake, where it's gonna be, instead of it being all clustered up in here, and this is what was in here, okay? That's what it was breathing through. It was very dirty. But that was sticking up behind the gauge cluster. And listen, if you're ever riding in deep water, you need to check your factory stuff, because this was not sealed at all. So don't trust just because your intake is up high at this spot. You need to check all your bands and connections, because you can get stuff in that way. So this came off of the air box, all right, because that was your intake. So we're actually about to modify the air box to where this is going to be just like this. We're going to drill this out, so it's going to be a lot more airflow coming in, and we'll seal all this up and all that good stuff. All right, so, and then we'll run a new inlet all the way up to the gauge cluster where we're going to drill out on each side, because you're also going to extend up your intake for your CVT as well to get more air in that way. But here's something else that's awesome. We're about to compare your intake tubes coming out the bottom of your throttle body. Those are new with the race kit, so we're going to be getting a lot more air all the way through to our heads. So that's going to be great. We're about to take this off. I'm going to just loosen this clamp here, take the throttle body off carefully, keep everything nice and clean, and going to remove the stock tubes, and we'll compare them. Okay, so just keep track what you're doing. We'll probably do another more detailed how-to video installation when we get the 1000 model in, so that'll be coming up soon. But hopefully so far you can kind of figure everything out as you go and kind of look at where we're at here. So I'm going to get to work removing this and taking it off of each head, and just pay attention to what you're removing so you can install it back correctly. Also got the new ECU we're going to be installing. So anyways, a lot to do, so I'm going to get to it. Alright, so I've got the stock, the air box, right? This is how your stock inlet is. Alright, so we're going to take what comes with the race kit, see how that fits in just like this. So all we're going to do is I'm going to come in with a marker or something, draw that out there, okay? And then we'll take this off, we'll cut that out, and then we want to use some good, I'm going to use some RTV silicone, and that can handle high temperature and stuff like that. We'll put that on, and then we will use some tap screws and bolt this on and make sure it's good and sealed, and we'll have our inlet ready to go. So we've got the fuel rail taken off, and now we're taking the intake tubes off. We disconnected your airflow sensor, which goes right there. Now we're just taking the bolts out of the intake tubes going to each head, and I'm up in Joel's way. Alright, so we got our bolts out, the 4 bolts, 2 on each side. Joel's about to pull the tubes out, which has your fuel and everything. There we go. So you see how straight that is, and then how that pump's kind of over. So this is bored out, much better airflow. Let's show the depth of the center port. Kind of hard to see with the different materials, but that is much deeper. So we got a lot more airflow there. Then of course, there's your other side. Same deal, a little bit bigger. Important steps here as we set up our new intake tubes. Joel's just taking the coupling off. Alright. So what's that? That's 8mm?
Yep.
Okay. And that's the clamp support bracket for your fuel rail, and that also holds in your injector. This particular kit, there's no need for bigger injectors yet, but so we're using stock fuel injectors, but we're getting much more airflow, and we're going to optimize the fuel efficiency and fuel injection through the changing out of the new plug and play ECU that comes with this kit.
I'll do away with that.
Alright, done with that. Now we're going to assemble.
Well, gotta get her O-ring.
Oh yeah, need the O-ring. I want to inspect that, and we can replace it if necessary. But this is a very important step. Everything needs to seal back up correctly, and we'll bolt it back up, torque it down, and be ready to go. Alright, so now Joel is assembling the fuel injector. That'd be helpful if I held the camera where you can see. Make sure you have everything facing the correct way. All right. Now keep in mind now, remember to take your injectors off, keep them, you know, which one went where, because they have to face, in this case, they're going to face the fuel rail was on the side of the exhaust. So it can only go one way. So I guess you figure that out once if you did it wrong, you'd find that out when you went to install it. Alright, so we got the back head, we got the intake put on, mounted up. Now listen, be careful tightening these and don't over torque it. Now you don't have to use what I'm using here. I like to use Honda Bond on my stuff, especially when you're taking apart something like this. So, but if your seal's okay, it'll be fine. But I'm using Honda Bond and putting that on just to make sure we have no leaks, because you definitely want it to seal off right. But you shouldn't have to use that. Just letting you know, this is my personal bike. It's what I like to have. So it's very important not to rush on this job. Take your time, do it right. But also, if you're local or within driving distance, you can always let the man himself do it. It'll be done right. We can go ahead and put our airflow sensor in. That's right here. Alright, so we got our throttle body installed, got everything plugged back up, everything's ready to go. Got the airflow sensor back in place, fuel rail is on, everything's tightened and looks good to go. So now we're going to install, let's just plug and play, our new tuned ECU. And this is where a lot of the magic happens right here with this kit. Getting a lot more air, better airflow and everything, so we want to change the way that it uses that air and fuel. Alright, so just plug that back up. Alright, diggity dog. Just goes right back in place. Now before we continue, we're going to crank it up, check for any leaks, fuel, anything like that, and make sure she does okay. I guess we'll check over everything and then we will continue with the install. Alright guys, so we have finished installing everything. Don't pay attention to the bolts, I'm going to change them out, I promise. But that's what I had right now just for testing purposes. Got everything drilled out, got my hoses ran. And don't worry, we are going to do a full install video here in a little bit, but we were just urgent to get this done and go test it out. And like I was saying, you're going to want to definitely call Main Street Cycle, get on the pre-order list, and we're going to be able to get these distributed inside the United States, and I believe you're going to be very happy with it. So, all right boys, we've been working on this thing. It's time to go see if this thing really does put 12 more horsepower to the wheels. Let's test this thing out. We're about to test this thing out. We're going to test it up against Joel's 800, there are some differences. Joel's got gonna have a little bit better traction on the grass than I will with these tires. He's got the clutch kit in it that we've been selling forever in the from Main Street Cycle. This has the race clutch kit and the program, or the new ECU, the whole new intake system. So we are going to try to drag race in the grass. We're going to have to go 4-wheel drive because we're just going to spin in 2-wheel drive. So we'll go 4-wheel drive drag race in high gear. Low gear ain't going to count because we'll be wound out before we get started good. All right, 1, 2, 3, and I'll blow the horn. 1, 2, 3, go. Oh man.
1, 2, 3.
Wow, boys. That's impressive. Hey, hop on this one and see if you can feel the difference. Oh yeah. Three, 2, 1, go! Wow. Well, that's impressive. That's impressive. Well, we'll do some more testing. We'll put some the smaller tires that's you know, meant more for racing. This is considered a race kit, but it's definitely enhanced the performance, and I'm sure we could do some mud riding with it. I'm going to go back and show you some of the things where we finished everything up. But anyhow, everything is done. Clutch kit installed. New vent line coming up from, or not vent, but the hose. Can't see it, but your intake for your CVT, intake for your engine, all that is done, and she is breathing a lot better. Fuel controller,
A whole lot better too.
huh?
Other than a factory when I start.
Yeah,
It runs a lot better.
yeah, runs super good. So plug and play setup, got to install. Now this is a pretty I don't know how you describe it, other than you need to know what you're doing before you try to install this kit. It's a pretty it took me a little while, and I had to get Joel to help me a couple of times, probably more than a couple, especially when it got down to the intake with the fuel rail. Just want to make sure everything was done correctly. Main Street Cycle is going to be the exclusive dealer for these kits. We got to get a pre-order list, so let us know. You can call or text us and say that you want the CFORCE 800 race kit, and we can get those coming and get them to you. I'll have to get prices and all later. We were just in the testing phase, want to get this information out to you. But if you're interested and you want 12 more horsepower to your wheels, which is a lot on this machine, then you're going to want this kit. So hope you enjoyed this video. We're going to do a whole nother install video and review on the CFORCE 1000 when it comes in. Yes, we'll have race kits for it, and that should bump it up 15 horsepower. So add 15 to 79, and that's a lot of ponies. So excited about that, and we'll be bringing that to you here pretty soon. So hope you enjoyed this one, guys. God bless y'all. As always, remember to keep it real. We'll see you in the next one.